Hello, this is Grant, and this is going to be episode 1 of Dead Rising 1 Master Run. So our goal here is we're going to go level 1, completely new save file, and we're going to save every single survivor, kill every psychopath, and then get the best ending, all in one single run. So this game came out pretty early in the Xbox 360's life. I want to say it was not actually a launch title, but it came out in the first couple of months. It's a very classic game. And Dead Rising's still doing really well today. I personally haven't had the chance to play 3, but I hear good things. One day I'll save it for an Xbox One instead of spending all my money on audio equipment and software. I really like this as an intro to Frank. Kind of gives you his personality, slowly edges you into the game. It's definitely really a unique way to actually start because the photography doesn't play a huge role in the game, but it's a big selling point. When the game came out, the big thing was photography and that you can use anything as a weapon. So I think they really wanted to sell that. I know the first time I got in the game and they explained, oh, here's the weapon icon, and then you immediately see it everywhere. It was really cool. I just imagine that they had meetings where they sat down, like, just going through a mall and like, hey, how would you use this as a weapon? Like, oh, if you had to kill a zombie with a chair or a gumball machine, what would you do? There's one particular part of the clip I always remember is when he reads off the population of the town. If you're a big fan of Dead Rising, you'll know that they have the Zombie Genocide achievement, which is killing 53,594 zombies, which is the population of the town. Fortunately, if you do that, it doesn't kill all zombies for the rest of the playthrough, but it's a really cool idea, and it really doesn't take too long either. But it's such a easy to remember moment for me. If you play Left 4 Dead 1, they have a similar achievement that's one more, 53,595 zombies in that game as a 1-up, and it's Zombie Genocider. That's fairly well known. I believe Prototype 2 also had an achievement that was one higher than even Valve's. I don't think that's as known, it didn't catch on either. But it's too bad. It would have been cool if that was like a running joke in a bunch of zombie games. So I'm just going to mess around with the camera here. Generally, there's not a lot of PP you can get from this section. There's going to be 3 big things we need to hit. But take as many photos as you want. You have 30 chances, and you're going to get a free battery as soon as you restart the game. So as soon as you get to the security room, you'll have a new battery. So don't feel bad about using them all here. This is the first case. We want to try and get him when he's getting pulled off of the car. Nets you about 1,000, I want to say, if you just keep taking photos. Really, you just want to make sure you hit the one big one and then just keep snapping. There's 3 big events, and one of them is the gas station setting on fire that you can only get 1 photo of. So really, if you're going to be here anyway, just snap as many photos as you can. I thought about going through and finding the optimal way to take photos, like take 10 here or do this. But really, in the long run, the PP you can get from these photos is so marginal, it's really just not worth the effort. I'm kind of amazed they didn't have a DLC to let you go out into the rest of the town. I think they have DLC for some clothes, but I don't really see anyone buying them. They're not particularly good. But it would be cool that they spent a lot of time showing this area here. Maybe if they let you run around a little bit, it'd be kind of neat. The closest thing you have to that is when you get outside the mall at the end of overtime mode. It's a neat little thing, but they made all these props. Like, there's a lot of detail on some of these signs. I'd love to see like what team they had just going through and coming up with all these store names, what their colors and logos are, making the town feel really lived in. I want to say that there's actually some advertisements for stores in the mall. And that's kind of a nice little synergy, I guess. I'm not sure what you would call it. But here I am, I just like looking at some of these signs. I wonder if they were like rejected ideas for stuff in the mall or they just kind of came up with things. There's probably some Easter eggs, like stores named after employees. There's that one lone zombie on that roof. What's his story? Right, we have the exploding gas station. You just have to be kind of quick, frame it as best as you can, and get one good photo. I don't think it's possible to snap them fast enough to get 2 nice ones, but if you don't miss that big explosion, You can take pictures of the fire, but it's really not worth it. I wish they incorporated the photos more into the game. Really, the only thing you have is when you take photos for quests. One for the rival photographer, and then another you have to take a picture of the air duct. It'd be kind of cool if there was more of a reason to do it. It doesn't help you with leveling because you might get like 1,000 to 2,000 PP for a good photo that you have to spend a lot of work and timing on, and then you get 10,000 for the easiest survivor save. Alright, this is a good scene. Here you want to get the photo right when a zombie tackles her off as they're falling, and just kind of frame it as best you can. I never learned how to properly frame these photos in terms of the game. If you ever take pictures of the PP sticker, they show you a little marker about how good your photo is going to be when you take it. But it just seems like the game tells you to zoom it in as much as possible, but then the way the algorithm works, it doesn't really seem to take that into account as much as you would think. I've had a lot of luck being more zoomed out just to make sure you get them in the shot. I think the people you encounter here will actually show up in your notebook, survivors. It'll say they're dead because obviously you can't save them, but let's see if I can get... Oh, I was a little bit too early. But you want to get her right as she falls off. I think I just barely get it. Yeah. They probably put a lot of detail in this sequence. I can see them demoing it at like an E3 or something, just showing off, hey, yeah, here's how the camera works. Go through, see the zombies. In a subtle way, it shows you that they're slow zombies. It's not like Left 4 Dead where it's dark and they're all sprinting at you. Just slow. They have a ton of health. This town seems really spread out. Looking at it now. How there's nice open farmland near the mall.
Can you get me on the rooftop of that mall? You gotta be kidding me. Man, you are nuts.
I know I've spoken to a lot of people who play this game, and they felt for sure that there's no way your helicopter pilot's going to come back. Kind of edgy. Like, you have no reason to trust him. I don't know if Frank said something, oh, I'll pay you more on the return trip. Or maybe, like, if he's going to pay him, like, 10,000 or something like that. Maybe 2,000 now, 8,000 when you get back. There's got to be some reason he's going to come back, because he is flying into a military space. I think you get one excuse. I don't know how he's going to actually get through to save him again in 3 days.
Get us back down to that rooftop.
When I was editing this, I had an interesting little note, is that at the very start of this cutscene sequence, it's 11:57. So when we come up here, it's going to be 12. Another very iconic jump that they recreate in Dead Rising 2 with Frank. Is that, yeah, that whole sequence took place over 3 minutes, which I felt was a little odd. But I'm sure they had reasons. Because they need the game to start exactly at noon. But I don't know, maybe it was that fast. It doesn't seem like it, though.
Yeah, I'm freelance. You know, go on the battlefield alone.
This is some foreshadowing. Carlito's the villain, the antagonist of this whole game. I'm really curious why he was here. He seems disappointed that there's not more press. Knowing the way he wants the little zombie apocalypse starting here to go, I think he wants more attention. He wants to kind of get it's good. What's a good word for it? Like a reward or satisfaction about everyone knowing that he was wronged. And if there's no information getting out, that's his biggest fear, is that they'll get covered up just like his Santa Cabeza was.
There's something else I can't put my finger on. Doesn't sound like civil disobedience. It's too quiet.
These are some really good lines.
Everyone's already dead. Yeah.
I kind of wish they just cut that cutscene there. Like, obviously they have to do some more exposition, but that would have been really great. Like, it doesn't sound like civil disobedience. Too quiet. And then Carlito does his little one line there. Like they're going to do up here. Just seems like they went on 30 seconds too long. But we're going to get to some actual gameplay here coming up. It was pretty straightforward. you can skip all the stuff. You can actually, in fact, even skip the helicopter ride if you don't want to take photos, or if you run out, you'll skip straight to the cutscene. It's completely optional, which if you are already level 50, there really is no reason to take photos.